episode by Who Let the Moms Out?
Woof, 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 woof. You know
The
that in my
delay.
head, the woof is so beautiful, but then when it comes out of my mouth,
It
is
doesn't
the
translate.
most no. And then when I listen to
Mm.
it on the recording, even worse.
But that's the thing, though. Like, I feel like listening to ourselves and recording, it's never what it is in real life, you know? The other day, I watched one of my recordings for one of my classes, and I was like, oh, God, this is the worst. And then I opened my phone, and one of my students was like, oh, my God, I just watched your class. It was awesome. And I'm like, it's so funny how we're always our own worst critic. But let's
Yes.
not let's not start going into the wrong topic. Today we're going to do one of your requests. We love, by the way, getting requests from you. When you tell us what you want us to do podcasts about, it's super fun because we don't get to plan it. We just get to come here and talk about it. It's super fun. Please, if you have any idea or topic or request for something you want us to speak about, let us know. You can always DM us at Who Let the Moms Out that pod on Instagram or here in the comment section on YouTube. Just send us a message or leave a comment and let us know what you want us to talk about. But today, Paula's going to let us know what the topic is.
So we're going to be talking about of when our children are sick and how sometimes it can be, you can be feel a little bit guilty, you can feel a little bit lonely, you can feel a little crazy, all of the above. So I'm going to start with one question for you. So when was the last time your kid was sick, and um how did you like handle it? Like, did you get sick as well, and then you didn't have enough time for yourself, and you just were like in this funk of ah I want to get out of this for
Yeah,
weeks
so
on end, or
I'm gonna knock on wood before I start because I'm an anomaly, okay? Um my kids don't get very sick very often. Alaska just turned 4 years old and we've never ever been to a pediatrician besides just a general checkup. She's never been to a doctor, never, oh my God, let me knock on wood. Please, God, do not let this start now. Um, we have really strong immune systems. I am through and through hippie and we do lots of natural remedies. Also, my the one was just born, but the toddler only goes to an indoor situation with other kids twice a week for 3 hours each day. So I feel like it's totally different when you send your kids to daycare every day, Monday through Friday, and there's all kinds of viruses. My kid does go to the park almost every day to hang out for hours with other kids, but I think when you're out in the open, it's not as you're not as likely to get sick. When you have like an indoor playground situation versus an outdoor, it's just sort of like I've seen it firsthand. When she used to go to the park, she would never get sick. When she started going to the indoor playground situation,
yeah,
that little schooling thing, twice a week, all of a sudden she comes back with something. And so for me, I think the hardest part is now that I have a baby, you finding that balance between, okay, the toddler brought something home, she's sick, the baby's gonna get sick, I'm gonna get sick, and when the baby's sick and the toddler is sick, I'm gonna be sick with everybody and I'm gonna be taking care of everybody. And who the F is gonna be taking care of me? And so we just did 2 9-hour flights straight up to another country and spent 2 weeks in Japan. Nobody got sick. It was amazing. And then we got back and Alaska went to this little thing and she came back and I started getting a throat, like pain in my throat. And I was like, oh God, like I'm gonna be sick. And who, like, how, because the thing is, when they're sick, you take care of them, right? But when you're sick, nobody's taking care of you and you still have to take care of them.
um,
And that's the worst part. And so I don't know. I think it bothers me when people get sick in my house. Like I literally just feel angry. I'm just pissed. I'm like, why did you get sick? Like, why
yeah,
do you have to go and get sick? Because, it's just so much more work for me. And I was trying to think about this the other day for you. I can't wait to hear what you have to say because you go through this all the time because your child actually goes out to, school every day. So then he always comes back. But I feel like he's always sick. And then,
yeah,
of course, he's sick. And a few days later, all of you fall down as well. And, it sucks, man. It sucks so much because I feel guilty that my reaction is anger because I feel like when you're sick, the last thing you need is somebody to be angry. But I also want to teach my daughters to be resilient when they get sick. Like, I don't want to raise babies when they're sick because I hate that. And
yeah,
my mom actually did a good job of that with us. I feel like my mom, when we would get sick, she would come and do extra loving, of course, and, extra pampering and take care of us. But she was always reminding us of how strong we were and how strong our bodies were. And you're going to get over it tomorrow. It'll be, and I think for me, the biggest challenge right now is that my toddler's going through like a very like face, like she wants to be a baby again, very whiny face. And so
Mm,
anything she gets, a boo-boo, a cut, anything, she's like, oh, and it's just like, oh, I'm just gonna bitch about this all day. And then I feel guilty that I feel this way, but it's like, and
yeah.
Alaska's very vocal about everything. So like every little cut, every like in Japan, she fell down once and she literally walked around telling every single person we met how she had a scratch in her knee. Every single, like every hotel, like I'm trying to do a check-in at a hotel, and she's like, "You look like the people would go out and bring her band-aids, and I'm like, this is already scabbed. This is like 5 days old. Like you have to stop. Like move on."
I will say, but Flynn does that though. Right? And
Yeah, of
he,
course, it's
he
the
has
age.
20. He has 20. Every time he goes, oh, mommy, look, boo boo. Oh, boo boo. Oh, boo boo. Oh, boo boo. There's 100.
That's too funny. I have a funny
Yeah,
story
like,
about the number 20. Alaska's obsessed with the number 20. So now when something is too much, she's always like 20? Like, so we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to Spain. She's like, soon or in 20? And like,
Flynn now knows how to count till 30, but he goes 2010.
oh, nice.
He doesn't learn the 30, but he goes 2010. And today he told me that he wanted to watch his tablet, and I could do it. I could turn it on because I was a strong boy.
Oh, for the love of God.
All right.
Oh,
Well,
look,
thank you.
look what we
Oh,
got. We got the little,
if
it
this
only
comes
works
on
with you.
the
Yeah. All right. So tell me, what is your biggest challenge when your kid gets sick, which is like every other week?
yeah, the problem was, yeah, with us, I am tired. I've had enough. It's been 6 months in 2024. It's been 5 months of sickness. I cannot anymore. But the worst thing about it is if he gets really like it's only happened that he was very, very, very ill like a few times. And when he's very, very ill, it means that all of us will get it. And it starts him, and then he starts to feel better, and Matt goes. And then he's already full of energy, and I just spend time to looking after him. And when he gets
Ah,
energy, Matt is off. So now I still have to look after him, and I'm already falling into like feeling blah, 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 and I start feeling sick, and everybody now is feeling
ah.
great, and I'm feeling sick, and I'm the one who has all of the things backed up, all of my work, everything, because I've been busy looking
Taking
after
care of people
everybody
and
else.
then sick. Yeah.
And
And
then when
then the
I'm
pile
sick,
is
I'm like,
double.
no, I have to work because I can't. Like, I just spent a week looking, and that's what's been like. It's been like a spiral of this, and it's like I can't get anything done at the
Yeah.
moment because I'm actually on the good week now. Let's see how long this is gonna last.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's always something. And then I feel like, we have so many jobs that we have to take care of. Like we have our business, but then we also have like you and I both have two businesses, right? Our business
Yeah,
together and each other's businesses aside. And then we have the business of our homes that we have to take care of. And then we have to mother as well. And then we're also wives. And finally, we're human, right? And the woman that we are at some point, somewhere in there. So it's like when people are sick in your house, then you're also a nurse, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna be a nurse for this week to take care of y'all. I'm gonna put everything on pause,
yeah,
but then I'm gonna get sick and still have to take care of myself, plus everybody else that still might be lingering sick. And then finally, when I'm hitting the worst part of the sickness, then you guys are all gonna be feeling fine, driving me crazy, demanding all the things that you always do. My house is still a disarray. The job is on pause, and now I have to go back to the job of mothering and
yeah.
sustaining the levels of the house because who's gonna make food for these people whilst I'm like in bed trying to like survive, and it's just like please.
And we don't get paid. Where's my sick leave? I
Yeah,
need fucking sick leave for motherhood or something. I don't know.
yeah. And when you own your own business,
Can
you also don't get any fucking sick leave. Like it just all goes
That's a
down the
problem. There's
hill.
nobody else to do the job that we're doing. And
Yeah.
like last week, which was the virus, so we were like vomiting
Hmm.
and shitting myself, literally couldn't move with cramp. Oh my god! And I had like gas. there. I was like, if this is what babies have, like colic, if this is
Yeah,
what colics is like,
it's horrible, isn't
fuck.
it?
Because I literally like went, obviously when it passed, it was literally like the biggest part, and then like just shit coming out, and I was just like, oh my God, is this what a baby feels like? Because damn, the relief and the pain is something else. I was like, Jesus Christ,
I never
poor
knew what that
babies.
was like, but Atlas has colic, not as bad as some other babies I've heard of, but she screams from the pain, I can tell. And then when she poops, she literally falls asleep right after. Like she's just the relief.
Yeah, and it's exhausting as well. Like I remember that, like I literally like fell asleep on the sofa after that, like because I was just
Yeah,
like so tired.
being in pain is exhausting for our bodies. Our bodies are all of our organs are all like, but
Yeah,
also for you, you're basically running an entire company, like our company on your own for months now. So then when you're sick, it's like literally like nothing is happening. It's like,
the business is stopping. I'm like, no, I
it's
need to get back on the horse.
entrepreneurship is not for the faint. It really is not. Like people glamorize it online, but I feel like it's a lot easier to have a high paying job. Like, yeah, sure, you work 40 hours. Yeah, sure, you might have to do overtime. Yeah, sure, somebody else tells you what to do, but at least you have guidance. You can
Yeah.
take days off.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
It's better to find a well-paying job with a good company than to start your own company. Your own company is not for the faint, let me tell you. There are some benefits, but damn, it's hard.
Yes,
We should do another
yes,
episode on that.
yes. Oh, it is one of the episodes we have scheduled.
Oh, okay, good.
So it's coming, guys. It's coming. All right. So let's see now. One, what was the worst one you had,
The
like
worst sickness
disease
I've
in your
had.
house? Yeah, in your house. Like what
Mm.
happened? Like pink eye or I don't know, flu, maybe.
Pink eye was
Or
easy to manage. Alaska was at a
okay,
stage that she was very okay with putting medicine on, so it was really easy. I mean, she had a pink eye, but
okay,
other than
that's
that,
good.
I mitigated with the sheets and everything, and nobody else got it, so it was fine. I think the hardest sickness for me was one time we were in Florida alone. It was just me and Alaska, and she got a fever when she was hanging out with my cousin and her kids. And then she got better, and we finally left on the other part of the trip, which was going to go see my sister and my niece. And then she got another fever there. So it was like I was alone with her, and she got sick twice in like two
Yeah,
weeks or two and a half weeks. And it was just like, just a lot. And I was still a first time mom, and it was just very scary because she never gets sick. And I was in a
yeah,
different state, so far away from our pediatrician, far away from everything. And just and then my cousin is very like, if anything happens, she's just running to the ER. So then you have somebody telling you, like, instead of, because
just go to
I'm the kind
yeah,
of person like my kids don't go to the doctor unless there's like blood gushing out of somewhere or like a fever that really has been there for days. Like, I'm not about
yeah,
to run to the hospital. Like, your body is made to fight things, right?
yeah,
And so I'm a big believer in that. We will do home remedies. If I see that more is needed, we will do over the counter medicine. And then if we're really dying, we're gonna go to the doctor.
yeah.
But my cousin is very like, anything is just a visit to the ER. And when you have that energy around you, you just start feeling like, oh my God, what if something's really wrong? What
You
if she
feel
has
like
this?
yeah,
And
you feel
like,
like you're missing out. Yeah,
and her daughter had just come out of, like, her daughter was on antibiotics for something. I think it was like an ear infection or something. And so I went in my head about like, oh my gosh, what if like I'm gonna need antibiotics and I need to go to the doctor? And like I went in my head about it instead of trusting my instinct. And then a week later, she got sick again. So then, of course, I'm like, what if it's something serious and it's a virus and it's not going away and it needs antibiotics and I'm letting her go, and just, I was alone. I had no support really. Yeah, it was a lot. And she was whiny and
oh,
not wanting to play. And I was in someone else's house to play, to interact. And so I had to like manage the emotions of the other kids who it was just,
oh, fun.
that was the
But yeah, like
hardest.
I feel that because every time like Flynn has been sick, pretty much Matt has always been away, and it's always like the worst. And it's
Yeah,
like,
you really have had,
is it me? Is it like me? Am I attracting it, or
yeah, I need a cleanse.
to detox with some rosemary and
Something. It's not rosemary they use for that. Or do they use rosemary for the cleansing somewhere?
they in Madeira they do. My mom burns it and does a little.
With
I don't know
rosemary.
what she does.
That's so smart. Rosemary smells so beautiful.
I don't know if she does witch stuff or if she does church stuff with it. Like she
Mm.
prays, or if she does, witching,
But something is done with
bewitching
it.
situation. Yeah,
I love it. I
she
have
does,
some
and she goes
rosemary here.
around and
I'll
says,
burn it through my house.
awesome.
Wait, is she saying something or just going whoosh?
Yeah, she's saying something. I have no idea what she is, but she's whispering.
Oh, that's so cool. I would love to see that.
You
Your
haven't
mom
seen
doesn't
it? She
strike
does it
me.
a lot.
No, but I feel like your mom doesn't strike me as a very like ritual person or like,
She
So like I would
is.
love to, yeah, I'm
She is a
clearly
lot.
I
Yeah.
would love to
She
see
is. She
that.
has
How
like
fun.
she even gets like the incense and like the ones that you have like you read like there's like a little prayer situation that you read with it when you turn it on. Like she used to do that everything like when she was young. Well, not when she was young, when I was young.
Wow, that's so
So yeah, she's always like yeah, and did, like she believes people can jinx each other and shit like that. And if you put scissors on doors, like witches can't come in. I don't know, evil spirit stuff that I don't truly
interesting.
trust, but yeah,
Fascinating.
yeah, it's
How?
really fascinating.
Wow, I never knew. That's awesome. Yeah, it's funny because
Yeah,
like now that I hear you talk, I'm thinking it's funny how our children perceive us. Like I wonder what my children are gonna think of me. Like, like of the things that we do
yeah,
because they're watching us. And to us it seems like this is everyday life, but as they grow up and see other people, they're gonna probably realize like, oh, we just did things differently, you know?
yeah. But I'm
Okay,
like
so
you though, like with the doctor thing, like I always leave it for unless he's because here it's almost like that. It's like they tell you not to go to the ER. They tell you like
yeah,
wait at least whatever. I think it's like 72 hours of fever before you
yeah,
go in type
yeah,
thing. Because obviously it's just too overwhelming. So I'm exactly like you. But then I
yeah.
overthink about it. I'm like, oh my god, it would have been so many things.
Yeah. Well, but
And then it's
I
just like,
think it's because we live in a world of information where if you Google anything, it's gonna tell you everything it could possibly be. So you're gonna look at the good side, but if you're having a bad moment, you're gonna look at the worst possible and be like, I even have cancer, and it's like it's just the fucking flu. You know what I mean? But I think it's so ridiculous because I am the same way. Like here, people think I'm crazy, probably think I'm like a bad parent, about to call child services on me. But it's like I don't consider a sickness unless there's like a fever. Like you
yeah,
having a couple poops doesn't mean you have diarrhea. Like you have a headache or you have
no.
a stomach ache, okay, drink some water, like rest, like I had to pretend to call a doctor the other day because Alaska was like she really needed to go to the doctor because she was feeling very tired. She woke up at 5 a.m. and her head
Oh well.
hurt. And her hurt. I'm like, you've been watching TV all morning, so of course your head's gonna hurt. And then she's like, and my stomach hurts and I have a boo-boo and I really need to go to the doctor. And so I was like, I'm gonna email the doctor. And she suggests, oh, and she had a little what is that called when you have a little thing on your lip?
Like the mouth ulcers things,
An ulcer, yeah,
the
I call it a
cuts.
llaga
Yeah.
in Spanish, and that's all I can think about. But she was like, I can't eat because, and like it hurts and the boo boo. And so I was like, I'm gonna email the doctor because I was gonna pretend to call, but she's next to me and I know my daughter. She's gonna be like, I don't hear anybody. She wanted me to FaceTime the doctor, and I was like, "Oh God, okay, now I'm gonna email the doctor." So, I emailed and pretended to email the doctor, and I was like, "The doctor recommended," and so I gave her zinc oxide. I have the dropper with it; it's like a liquid, and then I gave her vitamins through the liquid dropper as well. And there was a new one that we're trying, that is also like it's an immunity vitamin thing, but it's all like in a
Oh yeah, yeah,
dropper,
yeah,
so
yeah.
it feels very, very much like medicine. And I was like, okay, I gotta give you all of this. And she didn't like the zinc one. So I started with that one, which felt like medicine. And then I started with the other two.
Mm.
And then I was like,
That's a
and the doctor
clever.
said, yeah, doctor said to take these three, drink some water, lots of water, and rest. Okay. So you can lay on the couch and be just quiet. And, here I am trying to find
Quiet,
me some
sit.
peace. Please just watch
Yeah.
Frozen.
Flynn now is the same with like, but not to go to the doctor, but medicine. I'm
Ay, ay, ay.
poorly. I'm poorly. I
I'm
need
poorly.
medicine. You need medicine. I'm afraid.
This is when our gentle
Portuguese
parenting
comes
ends. It's
out.
like, listen, I was in Cuba with like worms coming out of my ears, and my parents still wouldn't take me. So you can survive. Like I survived chickenpox in Cuba without medicine. You will live.
Like medicine for everything. As if like the problem is he doesn't even get medicine like that often. When he actually gets medicine, which is antibiotics, because he's been on like actual been sick
Mhm.
and has like an infection or whatever, he doesn't even like the antibiotic.
Of
But
course, they
then
hate it, but it's like the sickness
but when
thing,
it's
you know.
finished, now oh I need medicine. My Portuguese comes out straight away, like
Yeah, no, honestly, I have no like. It's funny because the other day I woke up and like Atlas she's poor baby. Like honestly, like I have no right to be mad at her because she's a baby. But she's going through all of it at the same time. And my boobs are my chest hurts. Like my skin is just like literally there's no more to take from. Like she is nonstop and it's a teething and she's growing and then she's hungry as hell because she's already 13 pounds. She's a big baby, you know. It's funny, people are like, oh my God, how old she is. And it's like 2 months. Oh wow, it's a big baby for 2 months. And I'm like, yeah, she came out of my vagina too.
Why? Why are
Imagine the
people
pain.
people still comment on these things? It's just like,
Yeah, it's anyway. But yo, I had a person yesterday go like, "Oh, she's a girl. How come she doesn't have earrings?" I was like, "Cause she's 2 months, and I'm not about to like do something to my baby's body because you need to know what gender she is. I don't care if you want to call her a boy, you know." Anyway, but so I was so upset because like I had such a difficult like today. I just haven't slept very much, and Roger was my husband goes, "I'm so tired. I slept so little." I was like, "Listen, I'm no empathy." He's like, I'm not looking for empathy. I'm like, then shut up. Like, I don't want to hear about how little you slept. Because when I was up, literally shifting sides of the bed so I can accommodate and ease your boob so I can try to sleep to feed this baby who literally latched on all night long, you were snoring. So please don't tell me you didn't sleep.
yeah,
Please.
yeah,
I don't care.
yeah.
I do not care.
But those are the nights that I have, yeah, no sympathy. I'm sorry.
No. Uh-uh.
You're tired. Oh,
Yeah, it's so hard for me when people. So when I get sick. So here's the thing though. I am one of those typical like men that when the men like get sick, they're like, "Ugh." I'm a little bit like that with myself because I almost never would get sick. Even when I do like this past week, I had like an inflamed lymph node. I could feel it. It was painful, and
you
I'm just
don't
like
fucking
taking it.
stop anyway.
I
Like
don't
you
stop.
when
Yeah,
you were in
yeah,
Bali, yeah, like she was dying, like literally dying. She
yeah.
stopped. No, no, not even a second. Not even a fucking
No,
second. She stopped.
no, I just take
So
medicine and I just keep on going, you
yeah,
know? But I think it's also like if you're just sitting there dying, like it's just you're just gonna feel worse. Go take a shower so you feel better, get some new perspective, wash your hair, you know, and take some medicine and go on.
what's your
Unless you're
face?
really so like if I really, really am in bed, like if I am like, okay, I need to cancel things, like if I call you and I'm canceling an appointment, you know, and I'm in bed instead of on my couch
Yeah,
working from my phone, you know I'm like dying, like really. And it's usually a throat thing when my lymph nodes get inflamed and it's that pain. And then I
hmm,
get a fever and I get like, I literally will go from like being fine in the
yeah,
morning to like a fever in the afternoon. That's when I'm like, okay, I need to 2 days of rest. Like we just be in bed, drink some
yeah.
water, you know, but it's hard for me to get there. So then when other people don't have the same tolerance, even though they're, you know, 3 years
I'm
old,
the same.
I'm like, ah, man
Yeah,
up,
I'm the same.
woman up.
I'm the same. So like I feel like as well, like it's because I have period pain as well. So like every time
Exactly.
someone complains, I'm like, you don't do this every month, especially for the men. So
Listen, I just pushed an almost 10-pound baby out of my vagina without medication. You're not gonna make me feel bad for your pain. I don't care what you're feeling.
yeah.
Shittiest person ever. I don't care how you feel.
I think that no. Well, okay. Seriously, we do care, okay, guys?
I know
we
that
just
we're gonna get canceled. We do care. We're just
cancel.
saying that, like,
We do care.
I just
We,
personally think it's also really important to raise children that are resilient and that trust their bodies. I think what happens is most of us go into panic mode instead of trusting our instinct as mothers, instead of trusting our bodies to be able to do the job.
yeah,
And the
exactly.
reality is that whatever you're going through, your body most likely can process it within a couple of days. If in a couple of days really
Yeah.
there's no difference and you're feeling worse, then go to the doctor, you know?
Yeah. And also like use natural stuff as well. Like we always, as soon as we see this things are going a bit south, we start going on the vitamin C, get ginger shots and things like that. You know,
Exactly.
like start with the natural things because that's the best way for your body, like especially
Alaska
for
thinks that
building this.
medicine is like jamu shots, which I make with ginger and lemon and water. Like she thinks that's medicine
Lynn
because I'm
loves
like,
ginger shots.
it's exactly, it's immunity, you know? And it's so funny because I had somebody the other day going like, tell me how you pack your medicine cabinet for going to Japan with a 2-month-old. And I was like, I literally just
I
packed
don't.
zinc and her little booger sucker.
Yeah.
That's it. Like if she gets
I
sick,
like
I
I
mean, there are
literally have
children
like
in
a
Japan. I could just go
fever,
to the pharmacy.
one fever medicine. Like that's it. That's all
Yeah,
I take. One fever emergency
literally.
thing. That's it.
Literally,
Like
it's like it, and it's not. Look, also, again, we're fortunate. I know that if you have children that are sick, that have conditions, or that are more prone,
yeah.
like that's a different story. We're not saying that everybody should go around
Yeah, yeah,
unprepared. I
exactly.
have a situation at home where my children generally aren't sick, so then I don't go on vacation planning for them to get sick. If they do get sick, I have a few things, and then children live in those places, so I'm sure the pharmacy has medication.
Yeah. We are quite, privileged in that way, so we get to do that. Even though, like for me, for instance, Flynn has always been sick when we're away. For instance, we had COVID while we were not even home. We
It's
were in
crazy.
Madeira,
Well,
and
thankfully,
we
you had your
both
mom
had it.
there.
So I had fever, and I was alone as well with him.
I remember. I remember
And that
that.
was that was crazy. That was the craziest one because
Right. So
I couldn't
yeah,
even go
which
to
one
the
was your
doctor.
craziest?
Like, yeah, that was it. That was the one. Like, I couldn't even go to the doctor because I didn't have any documents, nothing that yet for him Portuguese. So yeah, so like for fever to calm down, like the medicine wasn't coming down. So I mean, there's nothing else I could have done because it was COVID. Like there was nothing else to be done. So like I had literally had to give him like lukewarm showers, which obviously was intense. And I felt so bad about it because it was the only way to calm down his fever. Like it was the only way. I had to do it 3 times in one night, and it was absolutely intense, so scary. He got scared of showering after that because
Cold,
but
the
it
cold
was the only
water.
way. Yeah, yeah. But it was the only way to calm down his fever. So I had
Right,
like
yeah.
I don't
And
regret doing it. I
that's
don't
a
regret doing
natural
it now.
remedy that everybody knows about, Like
Yeah.
that's what they used to do to me in Cuba. Like when there was no medicine, because my mom would always like, I think because she was a single mom with two kids, she was always like, whatever I gotta do. But in Cuba, like it was just like generally there's no medicine sometimes.
Mm.
And so she would just, you know, dump me in the shower with that cold ass water. And I remember vividly the
Yeah,
cold
they used to
showers,
do like the thing is an ER in Portugal. Like when I was younger, that's what they used to do to me. Like
Mm,
they would give me
mm.
the medicine, and they would still give me the cold shower, and they would still put like
I
cold
mean, it
wet cloth
works.
on top of me, and it worked because it worked.
Yeah, it
But
works.
for
So,
instance, Flynn was not taking the cloth. Like every time I would put a wet cloth on top of him, he would just like take it off. So that was even harder. So at least the cold shower was
mm.
like a five
It's a
second thing,
one-time thing.
but at
Yeah,
least
exactly.
that I managed to put it in and take him
Yeah.
out like
Oh,
really
but that's the
fast. And
scary thing. When
it
Alaska
was
was six
so
months old,
hard.
we went to like Cancun. We were living in Mexico at the time, but in a different part of Mexico, and we went to like the Cancun area to Isla Mujeres, which is a very small island. And I remember I think now I know that she got a fever from sun exposure. I think she got overheated, but she
Okay,
was
yeah.
6 months old at the time. And she just had this crazy fever, and I had no idea what to do. She had never been sick before.
Okay.
And I was in the middle of a small island. I don't even know if the island has a hospital. I'm sure they do. But I remember Casey, from Our Loca Vida.
Yeah, yeah.
I messaged her. She has 6 kids. So I was like, dude, like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. Like, I messaged her pediatrician who is awesome. I can just text her. And she was like, just give her lots of breast milk and, keep her hydrated, wait till tomorrow, see how she feels. But like, when they're less than 6 months old, there's only so much you can do anyway with medicine. And so she was not recommending giving her any medicine or anything like that. And I didn't know what to do. I was like, oh my God. And I remember like I messaged Casey and she was like, dude, just give her Motrin. Just like if the fever persists, just give her some Motrin. And because the doctor had said if by tomorrow or like if the fever persists, just give her a little bit of Motrin, whatever. And I remember Casey was like, bro, just give her medicine. She's fine. And she's very also nature minded, just like I am. Like she's very,
Hmm.
and she was just like, listen, it's about relieving their discomfort and helping them as fast as you
Yeah,
can. Whatever you gotta do. And that's when it hit me. It was like, yeah, okay, I'm all natural and I'm a hippie and all that, but like why am I putting my daughter through all this suffering? She may not be making that choice if it was up to her, And so I gave her Motrin and her fever came down and the next day she was back to normal. And I was like, praise Jesus.
yeah, yeah.
But it was really scary because for those first super feverish sicknesses when you have a tiny baby that is
It's
not for the
scary as well,
faint.
like because you don't know what, like sometimes it's just like, what is happening? This just came out of nowhere. Like for instance, his fever was like that before COVID. Like it started the fever before the other symptoms. So it was like, what is happening? And
Yeah,
then we
yeah.
realized what is happening. It's just, yeah. So it's crazy. Children.
Oh,
And it's like
children.
the one thing is that I find crazy is like giving the medicine or whatever treatments we're doing. I find myself feeling guilty for doing it. So like I don't
Mm,
want to have to take medicine that is unnecessary, right? And also don't want to be doing something that will hurt him or damage something. And I know that it's helping him right now, but then I can't help to feel like slightly guilty because I'm like, maybe he didn't need it, or like maybe it wasn't necessary, and it was just
There's
like,
always
oh
something.
it's just,
There's
yeah.
always something. It's
It's
horrible,
always like
bro.
something that you're battling, especially like the first few times. I was always like that, and I'm like, why am I doing this? Like I'm trying, I'm helping him, like I, why? We're so hard on ourselves.
It's
It's crazy.
it's so hard, and I think we make it harder than it has to be for sure. All right, so if you're listening to this, let us know either in the comments or send us a message on Instagram over DMs at who let the moms out that pod. What was the hardest, the scariest, the wildest time your child got sick and how you reacted towards it? Like, what's been the most difficult aspect of having a kid be sick for you as a mom? We'd love to hear so that we can all relish in each other's misery. No?
Yeah. Atlas is making herself known.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. You can
So
hear
she's
her.
saying goodbye to everybody.
And she's like,
Bye.
I need my milk.
It's
I'm gonna
time.
go breastfeed this baby. All right. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe if
Thank
you
you.
like our talks. We get together once a week to talk about all things motherhood, all real talk in here, none of the shenanigans. Welcome if you're new, and thank you for being here. If you're old, we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.